All right, it's May the 14th, and Pastor Hovind, we started a countdown from 45 days. The countdown timer now says 3 days, 22 hours, 26 minutes, and 40 seconds. So we're getting down to the crunch time, and just to let you know, I was mentioning we're uploading your CSC 101 series, I believe, and your CSC 200 series. I think you have 10 classes in each, and people are really enjoying those as well. So that's being put on the channel just for people that may be new to being introduced to you and your ministry to kind of see some of those teachings. So you only had 10 courses in the 100 series and 10 courses in the 200 series. Is that correct?
Oh, it's been a long time. I believe that's correct.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I could find was, I think, 10 videos in the 100 series and 10 videos in the 200 series. So it's a very, very awesome series. I mean, the ones I've watched have just been phenomenal. All right, Pastor Hovind, let me find some Bible questions. They come in all the time. All right. Here we go. This one comes in from Trent, Pastor Hovind, and Trent writes, "Hey, this is Trent from Alabama. I'm here first to say thank you. Most importantly, these Bible and spiritual questions are one of a kind in possibly all aspects. I have only met one man in which I could ask questions on all topics with a wide range in similarity, and he would give a strong, uncompromising answer or tell me how he formed his opinion for his answer given. I have questions for Dr. Hovind and would appreciate his response. Questions number 1. Okay. As for a Bible-believing, early earth creationist, what is the right thing to do in this day and age to a person who stole over $1 million, which belonged to a business that he managed and got paid over $100,000 annually? He caused his company to go bankrupt, lied, and forged documents. What should the proper punishment be for the crimes committed?" Okay, that's an interesting question.
Wow, that's way off my radar. I don't know about all that. Usually there's 4 or 5 different sides to a story like that. I would get everybody, give them a day in court. You probably would ask Paul Hansen. Everybody thinks our federal court system is all there is. Well, you can have what they call a court of record, which is a whole horse of a different color. That's really where you get justice. And so everybody should be allowed to tell their side of the story, and 12 jurors look at it and say yes or no. And so I could not even begin to answer a question like that.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No.
Okay, next one.
All right, very, very good. He has 3 questions. His second question that comes from Trent is, what career field or future plans should a mid-20-year-old person be striving for, while also thinking about making money for future living, and what degree or career could support a family?
Well, my dad always said, son, you need something you can do with your hands and something you can do with your head. Get some kind of job. I would get a variety of careers. If you only have one skill, you're in trouble. I think you should have multiple skills. Can you fix cars? Can you mow lawns? Can you build houses? Can you do something with your hands? And then something with your head, like computers or video editing. Think, what can I do from a wheelchair and make a living? Corporate decisions. There's thousands and thousands of jobs out there. So get a variety of skills, and then ask God to guide you. Okay, God, I'm talented in this. What do you want me to do? God usually prepares his men if he's got a job for them. I certainly think everybody should have some type of ministry, whether it's full-time or not is different. You might have to work your 40-hour-a-week job, but every Christian ought to have something they're doing to share the gospel, whether that's simply copying videos and spreading them out. Start in the phone book on page 1 and mail out 10 every week, DVD number 1. Only give them one. If you want somebody to eat an elephant, you don't hand them a whole elephant. You hand them a little tiny piece of elephant meat, well cooked, well seasoned on a toothpick, and say, try this. And then they say, oh wow, where can I get more? So you'd want to give a small piece. And so if you send one DVD to people and say, there, watch 10 minutes. That could be a ministry anybody could do. You wouldn't have to know all the stuff about carbon dating and everything. But everybody ought to be doing some kind of ministry, whether it's in-house where you bring them to you, or through the mail, or traveling, speaking, or there's all kinds of different ways, thousands of different ways to share the gospel. But no Christian has an excuse to not be sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ, I think. So I can't tell you what to do in your mid-20s. What do you like to do? When I would go to the different prisons I've been at. They've moved me all over the country. They'd ask, where would you like to work? Because everybody in the camps has to have a job. I'd say, well, I taught math and science for 15 years. I have a PhD in education. I'd like to work in education. And they say, okay, we'll put you in the kitchen. And so, where I have the least skills and the least interest. Anyway, so that's what I've done. I've worked several times in education in different camps, but oftentimes it's the kitchen. So I think you need a wide range of skills. Develop everything God's given you. If God's given you 5 talents, turn it into 10, like the story in the Bible, Don't limit yourself. But always be thinking, how can I use this to minister? Some people's gift in life is making money. I mean, they're really good at it. Okay, well then use that to support missionaries and ministries, and maybe that's your gift. Maybe God needs those kind of people too. Somebody's got to shoot the bullets, but somebody else has to pay for them. Somebody else has to deliver them. There's a war going on, so I tell people, if you can't shoot, carry bullets or pay for them or do something.
This call is from San Diego County Sheriff's Office.
I'll pray God guides you, but I'd have to know you and spend some time with you. Get your local pastor to say, here's what you ought to do. He would know you better. Okay? Thank you, brother.
All right, thank you, Pastor Hovind. Here's Trent's third question. Due to the coming tribulations in the near future, should a person try starting a family or bringing future kids into wicked times, such as the abomination of the desolation? He goes on to write, thank you. Every day I hear Dr. Hovind. It reminds me to thank God for my hearing, to hear righteousness with no compromise. I pray for the release of Dr. Hovind, and I pray that Pastor Hovind will lead an international group when freed through the blood of Jesus Christ. He is innocent, and I'm praying for no trial, with a release and a public apology. Blessed are the ones who are persecuted for Christ's name's sake. And that's from Trent.
Well, thank you, brother. We're also praying for that no trial, but we're preparing for trial just in case. I think it'd be dumb for this thing to go to trial. As far as having a family, boy, that's a tough call. It's obviously God's plan for everybody to get married and have a family, with very, very few exceptions. That's the way God designed everybody. So there's only one instance I can think of quickly where God told someone not to get married, and that was Jeremiah. Don't get married. Ezekiel was married and his wife died, and God said, don't cry. Everybody's going into captivity. It's better off that she's gone. So that was a strange story with Ezekiel. I would say it'd be unusual for God to say not to get married, though some people, that's their calling in life. Paul said, the Apostle Paul was apparently either not married or widowed. But he said, you can serve God more 100% if you're not married, whereas if you're married, you have to serve your spouse, which is obviously true. But Paul writes, if you can, I think it's 1 Corinthians 7 maybe, if you can, don't get married. But it's up to you, brother. Really pray about that. I would certainly find one that won't slow you down in the ministry, one that's with you. That would be a support and a help, not a drag. Okay, hope that helps.
All right, Pastor Hovind, thank you very much. The next question comes in from Connor, and here's Connor's email. Hi, Kent. Thank you for answering my recent questions. I am a strong Christian, young earth creationist, and live my life for the Lord. But I just need some words of comfort from you on 2 matters that I sometimes struggle with. The first being that the majority of all scientists who have trained for years and years have all got it so wrong, and about the evolution and the age of the earth. And the number 2 subject is of hell, the fact that unbelievers will spend forever suffering conscious torment. 1 billion years could pass and they will still be there. These things really upset me, and I just want to hear your thoughts on these matters. Many thanks, and I can't wait for you to be released. Connor.
Well, thank you. As far as the majority being wrong, I suspect that is true, but it may not be. I think there's an awful large number of scientists who know full well evolution is not true. Someone just sent me about 20-page list of scientists at major universities who do not believe in evolution. It was very lengthy, and I should have at least saved the website. Something about We Doubt Darwin or something .com. I don't remember. anyway, there are many, many thousands. However, there is a strong prejudice against those people. If you went,
You have 60 seconds remaining.
go to the Soviet Union, take a survey of all the teachers in college and say, how many of you believe in communism? Well, it'll be 100%. It is not because they believe in communism. It's because if they don't answer that way, they lose their job. So it has nothing to do with the truth. So I would say you'll be shocked at how many scientists do not believe in Darwin's theory and do not believe the Earth is billions of years old, but are afraid to answer any other way because they know full well they'll lose their job. Let me call back and answer the other one.
Okay, Pastor Hovind. All right, you guys heard the countdown timer, right? 3 days. We started with 45 days. We're down to 3 days. I hope you've been praying about this and ask the Lord what you should be doing to help support Pastor Hovind and Paul Hansen in this upcoming trial.